Hello, everyone. Hey, man, I know this is a long time overdue. Um, I just had to get my mental right, man. Yeah, it's been rough the last few months, but I want to talk about my experience at Goodfellow Corporation. And I must start off by saying I have no issues with the owners. Um, they were always nice to me, always receptive to me. Mark would be in my office at least once a month. Um, like I said, the good fellows themselves are good people. And I must say this, in these last few months, reflecting and going over things, um, I must say I think people are okay with people's bad behavior. And I don't know. I don't know, but I was reflecting on a job, another safety job that I had with and I and I'm not gonna start hiding. Stop. I'm gonna stop hiding companies from you guys. I always hid companies from you guys, but I don't think I'm gonna hide companies who I work for anymore. Um, so I work for this roofing company called PRS, and when I got there, the owner she took me in her office, and she was like, "Hey, we're having a lot of theft. We buy 60 yards of something and we only use 20 yards and the other 40 is gone. Could you please, while you're out doing your inspections, if you notice something, let us know." I said, okay. Now, the person that I found that was doing the stuff was one of their best friends. I went to the male owner. I went to he was coaching football. I went to his football and I told him, and I was like, hey, man, I don't want y'all to say nothing. Now, here's the thing that they don't know. I had pictures, I had video, all of that stuff on my work phone. You know how they was doing it. They were taking orders. When people would call in, they was taking orders, and they would just go out there in the yard and take the material and use an unmarked truck and go about their business. So I started receiving phone calls about doing side jobs. That's how I found out. So the one lady gave me the address and was like, "Oh, you guys said you was gonna do it for me, blah blah blah." So I went and staked it out. Guess who pulls up? Hmm. Hmm. So I go to the owner and I tell him, I say, "Look, man, I don't know how to do this. I'm nervous. I'm sweating, y'all. I don't know how to tell you this, but your boy is the one that's stealing. You know, your wife asked me to do this, and the only reason I'm doing this is because y'all asked me to do this." I said, "Your boy is the one that's doing this." I said, "But I I would appreciate if you guys didn't say a word, if you didn't say nothing, if you want to do your own inspections, do it, and that way you'll see it, right?" And it was cool. It was cool, but for whatever reason, that's why I say, man, I'll never say nothing about somebody else doing some shit because they always shoot the messenger. So months and months and months go by, and they bring this shit up in a meeting, and I'm like, whoa. Now, at this time, my work phone had been stolen because they knew the information was on my work phone. You leave your work phone on your desk, blah, 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 going about your business. And I told them, I said, hey, man, somebody stole my work phone. So for the last, at that job for the last year, I was using my personal phone. And they just didn't believe me. And when somebody don't like you, this is what I wanted to say by telling you guys that when somebody don't like you, it don't matter what you do, how you help the company, what you do for the company. If they don't like you, they don't like you, and they don't care if somebody's stealing. And I was just putting all that together, and maybe the good fellows don't care that people are stealing from them, that people are blatantly doing side jobs, using material, and don't care about them. Now, like I said, This was one of the issues that came up before we get into all of this bullshit is drama. But I want you guys to really dissect this and say, hey, did Edwin cause any of this bull crap? Pay attention. I got all my receipts. So y'all know in Boulder, the warehouse manager doesn't last a year. Boulder is the biggest corrupt part of Goodfellow Corporation, right under Mr. Goodfellow's nose. They are the most corrupt. Now, I do audits. One of the very first ones, he didn't want to talk to me, but I think it was a Hawaiian gentleman. He came in, military guy, you know, very strict with his leadership. He was like, "Hey, I know you got all this safety stuff." He said, "How do I do an audit?" Well, I was like, "Okay, you guys, you need to do an inventory." I said, "Here's your inventory. The main part about an audit, your inventory, what you used and what you reshelved and what you have back on the shelf. And then also restocks, what went out and came back. Those are your big things when you're doing audits. Okay, keep it simple. It's just keeping it simple, y'all. Right? So they got rid of him. The next 2 to 3 guys came to me and was basically like, "Man, $500,000 of equipment is gone. $1 million. Shit, within 6 months of each other, from $500,000 to $1 million worth of equipment was gone." So I was like, "Hey, somebody's stealing. Do another audit. Get all these other guys' audits. Put it together. You'll be able to see what is missing." And hell, even one of the main things was missing was a goddamn motor. I say, so you mean to tell me somebody accidentally came in here where nobody was around, raised the garage door, got on a forklift, picked that motor, put it on a trailer, drove off, and it's misplaced. It's an accident for somebody to come in here and move an 800-pound motor that was sitting on the fourth shelf up. So so check this out. Now this is the year that I got. This is this is the year that I got laid off or I got terminated. So this was last year, and I was like, look, man. Actually, it was 2023, and at the end of 2023, going into 2024, and I was like, look, man, you got to tell somebody. You got to let people know, or you got to shut this shit down because that's your job. Now, I'm not doing this to get anybody in trouble. I didn't say who, what, when, where. I didn't say none of that shit, right? So I noticed. Now, go back from the beginning of me working there. I was getting phone calls. Hey man, watch your back. Hey man, yeah, they're gonna try to get rid of you. Hey, Boulder. Hey man, they're gonna do this. Hey man, they don't like you. What can I do? I just stay to myself. I just do what I'm asked to do and keep it pushing. Kylie Moody, the piece of shit Kylie Moody, is one of the guys that used to call me. Now, Kylie, you guys that work for Goodfellow that are listening to me, you guys know I work in Boulder. He works in Utah. Kylie Moody was calling me saying that, hey man, you need to watch your back. We had a arbitration with um, unemployment, right? Because he didn't give me a reason that he terminated me. So I didn't have any ammunition when I went to accept my unemployment, file for my unemployment. They just told me we were parting ways. Then they came with a 40-page list of shit that they claim I did, which was cool, but I didn't have any preparation for that. And I was even telling her, like, he didn't give me a reason. And he even admitted that he was the one calling me, telling me, oh yeah, they need to watch his back. But it was based on friendly stuff. How is watching your back based on something friendly? Now remember, homeboy, that shit was recorded. So anybody can, so any of these snoopers that really want to know what was said can get up there and ask for that information. You have my permission to get to request the recording on my behalf. Anybody, you have my permission because he said it. I'm like, dude, that's not the intentions of the conversation. The intentions of the conversation was you better do good, you better be good, and you better not piss these people off because they gunning for your job, they after your head. Now, with that being said, you as HR didn't protect me. You as HR didn't say, hey guys, leave this shit alone. Stop all this bullshit. You as HR did not make my environment comfortable because it was so bad, y'all, that I started bringing my gun. Well, I conceal carry. A lot of people already know that. So, and like I said, I have receipts for everything. This was in 2022, right when I got hired. This is the end of the year. Y'all see what they say? I wasn't even concealing my gun. I was setting it on the desk because it had got so bad that I was like, I'm gonna have to shoot one of these motherfuckers. And I started all the little conversations, all the little emails, I just started I just started taking copies, right? I just started making sure that I had my copies and and just for protection, right? So after the meeting with the and I thought he was their buddy. I think his name was Steve, the little short manager for I don't think that's his name. I don't think his name. He was a warehouse manager. They let him go, but it was a big fallout. Him and Steve actually fell out. Him and Steve actually fell out. Steve is the big, tall, white guy. But him and Steve actually had a fallout and they let him go. And he even reached out to me and was basically telling me what was happening because I didn't know. I was out of town. I didn't know. So anybody that they don't like, the good old boys in Boulder, if they don't like you, they're going to get rid of you. They didn't like him because he was doing the inventory. He had saved over $500,000 of lost material. He was the only one that actually took initiative to say, hey, what goes in here, I'm documenting. What goes out in here, I'm documenting. So when you have a thief that has an open candy store and he's taking all the candy and reselling it themselves, of course they're going to be mad. So once again, I didn't take it upon myself because by this time I'm getting threats. I'm getting motherfuckers is talking about now that was 22, this is 23. Steve Johnson and Robert Holland was walking to his office and they're talking about planning a hate crime. I sent this to HR. I have proof. I sent this to HR. This is why y'all can screenshot it. Kylie, this is why I'm always talking about managerial training. Like, yo, bro, I'm not even, hey man, I'm trying to be part of the team, Kylie. I'm trying to, you know, make this shit work. But bro, these guys need training. These guys need serious, and when I say serious, I mean serious managerial training. This was on my board from about 2 months of me being there until the day I let go. What's number one? They needed to know certain things, like talking about going to commit a hate crime. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. And like I said, this has nothing to do with the Goodfellows. I don't think they know half of the shit that was going on with the company. So when I started feeling this pressure, I said, you know what, man? Let me let me let me let me get the Goodfellows into this. Let me talk to this man. And I went in there, I went in his office, And I said, hey man, I don't want to bother you. I said, but you do know, I said, all the things that I've asked for this from this company and these employees, especially in Boulder. I said, and I'm trying to be quick with this, guys, but this is almost 3 years of just 2 years of bullshit. And I'm like, you do know that I asked these guys if they know how to do a JHA. He was like, what's that? I explained it to him. And I was like, yeah, but check this out. I found booklets. I went through their old file cabinets and shit, and I found booklets of JHAs that everybody is supposed to be doing. I said, these guys flat out in my face told me they've never done it. I said, so the issue is these guys don't want to work. The issue is that these guys don't want to do their job. They just want to come here, jack off, and, get paid while they're jacking off. And while they're using your equipment to do other jobs. And I said, listen, I just helped. I wish I remember his name, the warehouse manager. I said, hey, I just helped him with an audit. I said, after I helped him with the audit, I said, little things have been slowly getting a little more aggressive and a little more aggressive. I said, especially with, certain people. I said, it feels like, I said, it doesn't feel like it. I said, I'm being targeted. He's like, you feel targeted? I said, yeah. I said, shit, I can't walk down the hallway and get a hello in the morning. I said, it used to be, hey, good morning, hey, how you doing? How you doing? And other people walking down the hall. My office was the third office to the last office. They'll walk, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Get to my office, walk right by that joint. Fine, B, fine, B. But all of this stuff, all of this stuff, and you're saying that I'm the problem, and you're saying that I'm the one that's, you know, talking aggressive to people. I'm the one that's, now, man, I'm the one that's being targeted. I'm the one that's stressed out. Well, like I said, my good fellow people, do y'all remember some that in the last year that I worked there? Do y'all remember that I was like in horrible, excruciating pain? And listen, man, I know the laws better than some of these people on here. I definitely know them better than and I don't even want to say his name, but bitch boy, I know the laws better than him. In Nevada, stress, you can't file for stress. You understand what I'm saying? But at that time, at 52 years old, I never, I didn't even, I didn't even, I didn't even believe when people said, "Hey, man, this is so stressful. This is so this. This is so that." I just felt like this, man. Swallow that shit and keep on pushing. Okay? And I've learned in the last 8, 9 months, that's the worst thing you can do. Yeah, your boy been in therapy. I've been in therapy about this shit. So that was the worst thing that I could do is push this down and think that it wasn't bothering me. So for the last year that I had that job, this whole side was killing me. I mean, like like somebody was taking a knife and I was like, my stomach, my stomach, my stomach, my stomach, my stomach. I don't know what's going on. I was in California, go to work, drove out there, go to work the first day. It's uncomfortable, you know. But at the end of the day, I was like, Mel, hey man, I'm gonna go to the doctor, man. She was like, all right, take, whatever, let me know what you need. I was like, I don't know what's going on, man. And I hadn't eaten anything bad. I was just, I don't know what's going on with me. I was gonna go the next day, but I ended up going to Concentra out there, and I told the doctor, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I said my stomach hurt. I mean, I'm not a big crybaby when it comes to pain. It takes me a while to complain. Put it that way. That's how bad it was. For me, it was definitely like a 9 or a 10, but I'm pretty sure to you guys it would have been like a 20 or 30 because I don't complain like that. Um, so I get in there and now I'm almost balled up. I get in there and I'm like, oh, I don't know what happened. She's like, what did you eat? I said, all I had was some soup and a salad. That's it. said, wasn't no greasy soup. I had a chicken soup, had some pho, and just a regular ass salad. And she was like, well, it's not your stomach because your stomach is on your left side. I was like, oh. I said, it hurts right here. She's like, how long has it been happening? I said, about the last year. She's like, oh, okay. She was like, is your job stressful? I was like, yeah, I mean, I swallow it. I said, I take it. But she's like, that's the worst thing you can do. And then she wrote up shit. She got the paperwork, got all the paperwork. So I get back, um, and man, that next week, this is already one of those meetings that already happened, and I'm gonna get to those meetings in a minute. But one of those meetings that already happened, so my stress level was here, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't even think about stress. I didn't even think that stress was an issue. Okay, and get back here, man. The pain won't go away. End up going to the emergency care up here, and they give me 3 days off. And they can't figure out, they do this little stomach thing, ulcer test. They can't figure it out. So I'm like, what the freak is going on? Check this out, y'all. While I was out those 3 days, I had went to work one of the days, pick up some paperwork. The other day, I had went to I did a meeting for the insurance policy, and the other day it was like an injury somewhere else, so I worked all 3 days that I was off. Kylie called me and told me that they were taking the money out of my check. Now I'm salary. This is what I should have known, that he was just a straight ass butthead. Like, I'm salary, dude. And I worked those 3 days. I worked those 3 days because the insurance setup was through you. So why are you calling me trying to take those days from me? So, but it's all documented. It's all there when I was out. It's the only days that I ever, like, honestly just missed work. But I had the medical report, I had the form, everything.